Self-discipline is often misunderstood. Many people associate it with restriction, suffering, or punishment. They imagine it as giving up pleasure, living a joyless life, or constantly forcing themselves to act. Napoleon Hill clarified that self-discipline is not punishment, it is self-respect and control over one's destiny. It is the ability to direct one's actions, thoughts, and emotions toward a definite purpose, regardless of comfort or temptation. Discipline begins with awareness. The first step is recognizing where your choices are driven by habit, impulse, or external influence, rather than conscious purpose. Most people drift through life, reacting to circumstances instead of shaping them. Self-discipline flips this pattern. It allows you to act deliberately, aligned with your goals. One of the most important distinctions is between motivation and discipline. Motivation is fleeting. It depends on feelings, energy, and circumstances. Discipline is consistent. It operates even when motivation is low. Successful people do not rely solely on inspiration. They rely on established routines, habits, and principles. Discipline bridges the gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it. Every day, self-discipline also creates freedom. It may sound contradictory, but true freedom comes not from indulgence, but from control. A person who cannot control impulses is a slave to habit, environment, and emotion. A disciplined person controls time, energy, and choices, and therefore lives intentionally. Freedom and discipline are inseparable without control. Life becomes reactive and uncertain. Another critical aspect is that self-discipline strengthens character. Every choice resisted, every temptation overcome builds confidence, integrity, and mental resilience. Over time, self-discipline becomes identity. I am someone who does what needs to be done, not what feels easy. Napoleon Hill emphasized that self-discipline is not temporary. It is a lifelong skill. Like a muscle, it grows stronger with practice, small daily victories, and consistent commitment. Asterisk, despite knowing its importance, most people struggle with self-discipline. The root cause often lies in comfort, addiction, and the desire for instant gratification. Modern life is filled with distractions, conveniences, and temptations that provide immediate pleasure but delay long-term success. Social media, snacks, entertainment, and short-term indulgences compete with focus, hard work, and growth. Emotional decision-making also weakens discipline. When people act according to feelings, anger, fear, boredom, excitement, they surrender control to their emotions. Discipline requires acting deliberately, not reacting impulsively. Each small emotional surrender chips away at long-term goals. Bad habits silently destroy potential. Repeated small compromises, procrastination, skipping workouts, wasting time accumulate. They form a lifestyle of inconsistency. People blame circumstances or lack of talent, but the real issue is habit, reinforced by weakness in self-control. Another barrier is lack of purpose, clarity. Without a definite goal or reason, discipline is hard to sustain. Why fight temptation when the destination is unclear? Hill emphasized that self-discipline is easier when aligned with strong desire. A clear vision acts as a compass, guiding decisions and creating internal motivation. Fear of discomfort also prevents discipline. People avoid temporary pain, effort, or sacrifice, not realizing that these challenges are the gateway to growth. Discipline involves embracing controlled discomfort to achieve greater long-term rewards. The paradox is that avoiding short-term discomfort leads to far greater challenges later. Lastly, social influence can weaken discipline. People surrounded by undisciplined peers often mirror their behaviors unconsciously. Temptations, excuses, and lack of accountability are reinforced in a weak environment. To strengthen discipline, one must consciously choose influences that elevate focus, responsibility, and commitment. Asterisk, the mind is the primary battlefield of discipline. Without mental control, actions are inconsistent. Napoleon Hill taught that repeated actions, thoughts, and habits shape the subconscious mind, which then automates behavior. This is the key to lasting self-discipline. Train the conscious mind to act deliberately until it becomes instinctive. Conscious control is the first stage. This involves making deliberate choices despite resistance. For example, choosing to wake up early, avoid distractions, or complete a task before pleasure. Initially, these actions require effort and awareness. Each successful execution strengthens self-confidence and mental resilience. Subconscious reinforcement is the second stage. Repetition of disciplined actions impresses the subconscious. Over time, what was once difficult becomes automatic. The mind begins to anticipate actions aligned with purpose. Discipline becomes habit. Morning routines, focused work blocks, and structured study or practice are all examples of programming the subconscious through repetition. Emotions play a critical role in mental discipline. When discipline is paired with emotions such as pride, determination, or desire, the subconscious accepts it faster. Fear, frustration, or laziness, however, weaken programming. That is why disciplined people carefully manage their internal state and avoid emotional distractions. Self-discipline also involves delayed gratification. The mind must be trained to prioritize long-term benefit over short-term pleasure. Every choice to delay comfort in favor of growth reinforces control. Hill emphasized that mastery over small desires leads to mastery over larger challenges. The same mental mechanisms that allow you to avoid one cookie today will allow you to stay focused on business, learning, or personal development for years. Another crucial element is identity reinforcement. A disciplined mind repeatedly tells itself, "I am someone who follows through. I am someone who controls impulses. I am someone who acts on purpose." Over time, this identity strengthens resolve, simplifies decision-making, and reduces internal conflict. Finally, self-discipline grows through consistent reflection. Reviewing actions, successes, and failures teaches accountability and helps adjust strategies. Reflection converts experience into wisdom. Discipline without reflection risks rigidity. Reflection ensures adaptability. In summary, self-discipline is the conscious effort to align action, thought, and emotion with purpose. It begins with awareness, strengthens through repetition, and becomes automatic through subconscious programming. It is the bridge between desire and achievement, fear and courage, potential and reality. Self-discipline is built gradually through small, consistent actions. Napoleon Hill emphasized that even minor promises kept to oneself create strength of character, which compounds into lasting discipline. Start with small actions like waking up on time, completing a task, or resisting a short-term temptation. Each success strengthens confidence and proves that control is possible. Delaying gratification is essential. Sacrificing short-term pleasure for long-term benefit, like working before relaxing or saving money before spending, trains the mind to prioritize purpose over impulse. Removing distractions and structuring your environment also makes discipline easier. Instead of relying solely on willpower, design spaces and routines that naturally support focus. Reflection strengthens discipline. Reviewing daily accomplishments and failures teaches accountability and reinforces self. Consistency beats intensity. Small actions done daily are more powerful than occasional bursts of effort. Over time, these repeated actions shape identity. I am someone who follows through, who acts with purpose. Disciplined people structure their days around routines that reduce dependence on fleeting motivation. Morning rituals such as exercise, meditation, visualization, or reviewing goals set the tone for focused, intentional action. Focused work blocks, free from interruptions, allow mastery and momentum. Daily reflection helps track progress, identify improvements, and prevent repeated mistakes. Eliminating temptations, like turning off notifications or removing distractions, supports consistent behavior. Small, repeated growth, habits, reading, journaling, learning compound over time into significant personal development. Emotional regulation is another daily practice. Disciplined people respond thoughtfully, remain calm under stress, and avoid impulsive reactions. Celebrating small wins reinforces habits and strengthens self-belief. Over time, these routines turn self-discipline into an automatic, unshakable force that empowers consistent action and achievement.